Hello everybody, welcome to another video, and it's still Sunday. I didn't say that in the last video, but it's still Sunday everybody. We're like trying to churn out videos here for you because we have a lot of articles coming up, and I probably might be loading videos on my own as well so I can get through all these stories for you. I'm not sure if all of you will be interested in news and live updates, but I know that you'll find an article or two that you'll be interested in that I or the both of us will be talking about. So in that case, as you can very well see, Stefanie has her dog to visit in wearing a nice doggy sweater. So if anyone needs a doggy sweater, send Stefanie a message.
Check it out!
Click one of her links, send her a message, and she can make you a doggy sweater for your doggy.
Yep.
And the next article we have for you today is Can't Sleep? Perhaps You're Overtired. We're used to seeing toddlers who can't switch off at bedtime, but some experts think that our always-on lifestyles mean that maybe adults have the same problem. Well, of course, because when our mind is soaring with everything that's going on, it's hard to shut it off and go to sleep. And they say no computer or phone or TV or anything like an hour before you go to bed, but in my opinion, that does help me fall asleep. Because if I stare at the screen too much and my eyes are seriously tired, then I will fall asleep. Because even if I turn it all off and I just lay in bed for an hour, if my eyes aren't tired, they're not going to fall asleep, no matter how hard I try. Or read a boring book, then you'll fall asleep too. Or even if it's an interesting book and you're really tired, you'll still fall asleep.
Yeah. Different methods, different people.
Yeah, but they always say turn off all the electronics, and I said it depends on each person, but because you can sit in bed for a whole hour, wide awake, and not be able to sleep. Period.
Sorry, I'm sleepy. We're talking about being sleepy.
And here's a picture of this girl who's lying in bed, wide-eyed, thinking about why she's not able to fall asleep. And it's about struggling to survive on less sleep than you need. Because normally you need 8 hours of sleep, technically, but most people get like 4 or 5, and then they try to survive on that.
Some people with their really busy lives, and I read or heard once that it's normal in Japan or some parts of Japan to sleep for just a few hours a night. But that it all depends on your body and your natural cycle, your rhythm. And my coworker, she needs her 9 to 10 hours of sleep a night, or she's very cranky. And what do I sleep at night? I try to go to bed around 9 and then just lie there for a little while, trying to fall asleep. So 10 to 7:40 is my 8 hours. But what I do know is that my best hours, once I get it back into my normal rhythm, is the best hours for me to sleep are between 7 and 9 a.m.
Yeah, but most people have to be at work at 9 a.m.
Yep, me too. But those are my best hours.
Yeah. Well, like the people in Japan, they're just overworked, and they just go from work to home, and then they eat, and then they go to sleep. And then the next day they eat and go to work. And then they just have no time for anything else or unwinding or anything because you're just thinking about getting those few hours of sleep, and then they didn't know. But now they've said that they've already done studies in Japan where they found it unhealthy, and then people burn out faster, and they get health problems or die sooner, and then what? You lose an employee if they can't come to work. So Take care of your employees. They'll last longer for you.
Yeah.
Narina Ramlakhan remembers when her daughter was a toddler and how if she got too tired, she would be unable to switch off. There was a healthy level of tiredness, she says, but if she went beyond that, she would be running on a kind of false energy, and then she wouldn't be able to switch off when she went to bed. So now they're talking about this false energy. So if you're too tired, you're running on like, see, there's a difference between being tired and being sleepy. Because sometimes I'm just tired and drained, my body, but I'm still doing everything I'm supposed to be doing, like maybe baking my cookies, which I have to do tonight, or doing what other stuff I'm doing, And then you're just tired, but then you finish it all, and then you lay in bed, and you're like, you're tired, okay, I'll fall asleep. But no, you're just so tired, but you can't fall asleep, and you're like, why? But then it's like false energy that your body's giving you.
Yeah. A few years ago, I noticed this about myself. I called it being hyper tired. Like I knew I was tired, and then it got to a point where I was still tired, but my brain was just running on like it was on coffee, but I didn't have coffee. I don't like extra caffeine, but I called it hyper tired because I knew I was tired and I needed to sleep, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to for another little while.
Yeah.
Just because I went past that limit.
Yeah. Overtiredness is recognized the world over in young children, but it is seemingly more and more common in adults. Dr. Ramlakhan should know. She's a sleep psychologist and is increasingly seeing people who remind her of her little girl when she was younger. There's a certain irony that is our sophisticated, high-tech, busy world we appear to be reverting to behavior that we recognize and know how to treat in kids, but are somehow failing to deal with as adults. Overtiredness, sleep experts agree, is down to our always-on existence. In the past, says Ramlakhan, the author of the Little Book of Sleep, our days had naturally built-in downtime that gave us short snatches of rest. Today, that has disappeared for many of us. We have become restless as a society, and that places more demand on us. When we get into bed at night, she says, we have lost the rituals and practices that give us little respite during the day. In the past, you would go to the supermarket and, while you're waiting in K, you'd daydream. Be a bit bored, look around. Now any window like that would be filled by looking at your phone, answering some emails, sorting out your Amazon account.
Yeah, I don't do that. If I sit and I stand around and I look around or I daydream, and because why do I have to take something out that I have to put back away? It's inconvenient. I guess it's also healthy for me not to do that. So.
Yeah, I'm the person who takes naps. So I'm all about napping. And I told Aaron, how come you don't take naps? And it's just not him. But who knows? Maybe if he ends up being awake in the middle of the night, unable to sleep because the baby's crying, he'll learn how to take naps. I'm like, take advantage of any sleep you can get. Oh, the baby's napping now? I'm napping too.
Yep.
The baby's napping. I'm napping too. I just got home from work and I didn't get enough sleep last night. I'm napping. Because you don't think about it because you don't need it. Because he's like, he wants to not nap because then he will actually be sleepy when it's like time to go to bed since he wakes up super early. But, but you're going to miss all that once you have a kid, and then, yeah. And I do that. I go on my phone and I look at Instagram and Facebook. If I have email alerts, I have to check it because for work purposes. And I don't really sort my Amazon account. I buy something and that's it. I sort of really need it there because I don't really sell on there anymore. Because thank you, Amazon, you banned me from selling because my account had been inactive for several years, which there shouldn't be anything wrong with that. You all. You may think you are putting the time to good use, but that's not how your brain interprets it. There's a complex neuropsychology that requires breaks in tasks and concentration. If it's constantly bombarded, the brain becomes overloaded. The result in Ramlakhan is that it goes into what we might call survival mode. It assumes that something bad is about to happen. It ups the adrenaline and puts out an urgent call for sugary snacks to provide quick release energy. Maybe that's why I get hungry at night. So I woke up at like 4 in the morning, because I guess now, maybe because I'm possibly pregnant, I have to pee so much more, and I get hungry. At like 4 a.m. I was like, I'm hungry, but then I went back to sleep and I forgot about it. I left for work and I'm like, I forgot about it. So I'm like, yeah, because it's not really good to eat if you're gonna like go right back to sleep. If you're gonna eat and then go do stuff, then yeah, that's fine to eat, because then your food can digest and it's not gonna store it there and create fats. But so yeah, so yeah. But when you're tired, your body does crave sugary stuff to stay awake, but then it's not really thinking about, oh, you're supposed to be winding down to go to sleep. It's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And there's more. If your brain has become tuned to always reaching for the next thing to do, to never taking a moment to just pause and rest, then it will gradually become harder and harder to switch off at night. It's almost as if we're losing the ability to let go. And the biggest letting go of all is falling asleep, which Ramlak Khan describes as an act of trust. There is growing tendency to hold on, to keep on going, and it's manifesting in our sleep patterns as well. People say to me that they feel they're on the edge of sleep all night. They're getting up in the morning feeling exhausted. They say they keep waking up at night and can't get back to sleep. But it's normal to wake up at night. Most of the time, we just go back to sleep. Like I said, waking up to like go to the bathroom. I don't like it because it breaks my sleep cycle, but I guess that's part of...
That's life.
part of drinking too much, one, or possibly being pregnant. I'll let you guys all know on Friday when it's... I'll let you guys... Well, I'll find out on Friday and probably let you guys know then, or on another video on Sunday if it's actually the truth. But who knows? Maybe I'll bring you another video on Friday because I have a lot of articles to bring to you guys. What are the signs that you may be overtired? If you get into bed at night and find your mind is still racing with what has been going on through the day, overtiredness could be to blame. During the day, you may find it difficult to concentrate or to see the wood for the trees in your professional and your personal lives. You perhaps catch a lot of colds, especially when you're winding down for a holiday. You're irritable and you find yourself reaching for sugary snacks to keep yourself going during the day. And because, like in America, we live in a society where it's all go, go, go. But if you live in Europe, like when I was in Italy, they have siestas, like nothing's open for like, from the hours of like 3 till 5. Nothing's like, from the hours of 3 till 5, you can't find a decent restaurant to eat in because they're all shut. And then they reopen again at like 7:45 for like 2 hours for people to go in and eat their dinner. And then only supermarkets are open from like 10 to 5. But that's about it. But then they have siestas, and that's good because people get to go home and rest, recharge, restock supplies for the restaurant, and just have a time. And we're not used to it. When we go there, we want to have our dinner at like, say, 5 o'clock, but we can't. We have to wait until 7:45 to go eat something, unless it's like a fast food place that's open the whole day. And that was kind of a hard thing for us because it's like Aaron didn't want to wait. He's like, I'm used to eating at this certain hour. But then if we wanted to eat at a nice place, we have to wait until they open back up at 7:45. It's like, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, I can't eat that much sugar anymore. I got this gallon of juice and I watered it down like 2 or 3 parts water to 1 part juice because it's so sweet. And there's Christmas candy. There's so much Christmas candy. I'm gonna have that Christmas candy 2 years from now still.
Why don't you give it away to like people?
I don't know, because I'm a hoarder. I'll get to it someday, some year.
Well, I don't do that because I'm not allowed in my house. But I give it away for like gifts. I give out candy. I give out stuff. So, and I clean out my room. I clean out my room a little bit throughout the whole year, and then eventually everything gets cleaned out and sorted, and then I have less stuff, and then I add more new stuff. Get rid of the old stuff, and I don't keep because the old candy is not good for you anyway.
Hasn't killed me yet. We'll find out what kind of cancer I get in 20 years.
Hey, don't speak like that.
You know that's what's in our food now.
And besides, I'm not allowed to do that anyway. I'm not. Because that's just not who I am. So yeah, it's easier to see when you're. Here's a picture of a kid that's sleeping, but it's easy to see when your kids are overtired because you see that they're tired, but they're still bouncing off the walls. And it's hard to put kids down to sleep. I know when I was a kid, and people just blamed it to be that I was on a sugar high because I had sugar too early, too late in the day and before my bedtime. So that's what they say. But then it says in my psychology book from college that that's not true. That you don't get hype. You don't start getting hyperactive because of too much sugar in your body. That's just a false brain reaction. And it's like you create that notion in your brain that that's what's supposed to happen after you eat sugar. Because adults, they can eat as much sugar and they're not bounce. They eat sugar, but they don't bounce off the walls and start getting agitated as like having too much caffeine. If you have too much caffeine, of course you get the jitters. But that's because that's proven. But sugar, no adults start getting hyper because they had too much sugar. They eat 3 Snickers bars and they're just fine. They go on their day, just maybe too much sugar, and then they can't calm down later.
Sick after that.
You don't see that. Vic Veer is an ear, nose, and throat consultant who specializes in sleep apnea. But he has become something of a sleep expert because so many people who consult him turn out to have different sleep issues, including, he believes, overtiredness. It's about struggling to survive on less sleep than you really need, he says. We're talking about people who typically have coffee in the morning to wake themselves up and then alcohol in the evening to try to switch themselves off to sleep. There are those people who seem to just about get by, because if you do it enough, your body habituates to it. You see people looking haggard and tired and only just making it through. And I can attest to that. Alcohol does make me sleepy. So I can attest to that. If I need to fall asleep quickly, that will do it.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily the healthy way to go about doing these things as we're reading about right now.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm just saying, if I need to fall asleep, just give me some alcohol and I'll knock right out. That's why I don't drink too much, because I get sleepy. I get sleepy easily and then I can't function anymore, and then nobody will be happy to interact with me anymore. I'll be like, I'm done, everybody, let's go and take a nap now. And yeah, getting less sleep. Some people, well, it depends. Me, it was just hard. I couldn't fall asleep until like midnight, and then I have to get up at 5, and then I get 5 hours of sleep. So it's just how things go. Because I used to put myself in bed at like 9 or 10, but I wouldn't fall asleep, and then by the time I fall asleep, I'm like, crap, it's midnight. So, and before you know it, your alarm goes off, and it's like, crap, I didn't even feel like I slept. And then you just drink your coffee to survive the day. Well, that's how I do it. Who is at particular risk of overtiredness? Veer says 30 and 40-somethings are especially vulnerable. They often have a great deal on their plates and they feel they have to keep on going. However tough the terrain, they are less likely than older people to build breaks and switch off time into their days. They have high expectations of their social life as well as their professional life, so a busy day at the office is followed by a busy evening out in a bar or meeting friends. Because you're not going to say no to a friend if they want to go out, especially if you haven't seen them in a while. Of course, after work, you're going to say, yes, I'm going to go. And by the time you get home, it's like, oh, time for bed. I'll get my 5 hours of snooze and then go to work the next day. So, but that's why sometimes people relegate their going out time for like Fridays and Saturday nights. But it depends, because you don't want to, because you get bored when you're home. When you get home at like 6, you're like bored for 3 hours until it's like time to go to bed. What do you do with yourself? Unless you just eat and then binge watch something on Netflix. Unless you have personal things to take care of at home.
I'd say you use those 3 hours to unwind and relax.
Well, yeah, that's why you binge you binge on your dinner and binge watching Netflix, unless you have house chores to do. But when you're single, you don't think about that. You're like, oh, who can I go out to dinner with? And what are we gonna do next after that, you know? And then you come home and you go to sleep, and then you do it for the next day. Well, I used to do that when I was in my 20s. When I was in my 30s, I'm like, I'm done. And I don't want to do it anymore. But I like going out occasionally, but not so much like I used to in my 20s. But in my 20s, I was like, okay, I get home at 2. I have to go to school at 3. I'll be fine. 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
But still, you wake up at 10, you get ready, go to school, do whatever, you know. But in your 30s, you're like, once you're home by 8, you're happy. Once you're home by 8 and in bed by like 10, you're all happy.
Yeah. I didn't have active 20s, so I don't know.
Even if you fall into bed at night, they remember that TV program everyone is talking about, which they didn't have time to see when it was on the telly. So they decide to spend another hour watching the first of the box set, then a second, and before they turn out the lights, they reach again for their phone for a quick update on the messages and news.
I'm going to sleep. I don't care what people are talking about.
That's the norm, because I do that too. I go on Instagram and see everything before I go to bed, and that's that. No wonder it has all gone pear-shaped for sleep. What we are doing, says the consultant clinical psychologist Dr. Anna Simmons, who works in Nottinghamshire, is inverting Maslow's hierarchy of needs. In 1943, the American psychologist put physiological requirements, including sleep, food, water, and shelter, at the bottom of this pyramid. Self-actualization, such as seeking happiness, pursuing a goal, using our talents, are at the top. Today we are inverting the triangle. We prioritize the top elements and skimp on what's lower down, as it is harder to go without food, water, and shelter. We have decided sleep is inexpendable. Because I forgot his name, but there was this one guy who had such a rigorous schedule. It was crazy. I think he only sleeps for 5 hours a day. 5 hours a day. I forgot his name. I think he's on. Oh. Let me see. I will tell you who it is. I have to scroll through. Here to find it, but I will tell you who it is.
That would help, but I have no idea who you're talking about, so.
It'd be easier to look up if I remember his name, but I can't.
What does he do? Like, why does he only get those 5 hours of sleep?
No, he has this rigorous schedule that I don't think anyone knows. No, this person on BuzzFeed, he tried this person's schedule, and I didn't watch it, but I don't think he. he was able to no live streaming, no, it has to be up here somewhere. Oh, here! I found it. It's Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg, and he's an American actor.
Oh, he's an actor.
And he has and his routine. So here's his intense routine. It's intense. It's intense. Nobody. I don't see anyone who can do this. So it's so crazy. It says here. So it's Mark Wahlberg, everybody, and his workout is intense. It's right here. So his typical daily schedule. At 2:30 a.m. he wakes up.
Yeah.
At 4:45 a.m. he has prayer time for meditation or whatever. At 3:15 a.m. he eats breakfast. From 3:40 to 5:15 a.m. he does a workout. At 5:30 he has his post-workout meal. At 6 o'clock he showers. At 7:30 he goes to play golf. At 8 o'clock he has a snack. At 9:30 he goes into a cryo chamber for recovery. For all of you who don't know what a cryo chamber is, it's where you sit in this thing that gives you like it's like a cryo. It's like where you're like frozen. Your body is frozen, and it's so I was talking about 9:30 a.m. where he had the cryo chamber recovery. And the cryo chamber is where you go into this thing that freezes you, and it's supposed to heal all your muscles. You know how like the sports people, they sit in a tub of ice water for their, yeah. This is something similar. At 10:30 a.m. he has snack. At 11 a.m. he has family time / meeting / work calls. At 1 p.m. he does lunch. At 2 p.m. he has meeting / work call. At 3 p.m. he picks up his kids at school. At 3:30 he has a snack. So probably eats snacks with his kids or something. At 4 o'clock p.m. he does workout number 2. At 5 p.m. he showers. And at 5:30 p.m. he has dinner / family time. And at 7:30 p.m. he does bedtime. So that's his typical daily schedule, aside from when he has his shoots or he has to go to various events. But on a typical day where he has none of that, that's what his work schedule looks like. And that is like hectic. Anyone who tried it, wow. It was a challenge for them because they had that challenge on BuzzFeed. I don't know if we succeeded or not, but that's grueling. But if you sleep early, you can wake up early, but still, that is so much to like pre-program yourself to pack in one day. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
No matter how. Your brain has to be like wired to the T to be able to, to really do that. No wonder it has all gone pear-shaped for sleep. Oh, I already did that one. But it's not. And overtiredness is one of the signs that we are getting it wrong. Paradoxically, another society-wide symptom, says Ramlakhan, is our communal obsession with sleep. We're sleeping in better conditions than ever before. We know more about it than ever before. We have better duvets, more comfortable pillows, she says. So it's not the mechanics of sleep that are failing us. It's our inability to pace our day and understand that some of the business of rest at night is actually done during the day, and especially during the evening. And if you have, there are people who say that they can rely on 4 to 5 hours of sleep, but then they do like 20-minute power naps in the afternoon. That helps like re-energize them. Like, let's say an hour after they had lunch. You know, sometimes you get groggy during after you eat your lunch, and then you wait for your food to digest a little bit, but then after an hour, then you take a 20-minute power nap. And then you wake up and you're energized to continue working. Maybe you might get groggy in the afternoon, and instead of, you've already had your one coffee. You don't want to go for more coffee, so just have another 20-minute power nap, and then it will re-energize you way better than more coffee can ever do for you. Do it that way, and then you'll be more productive to work, and then you just stay another 40 minutes later at work to get your stuff done. But at least you got a power nap, and you're able to like drive yourself to get your work done. You know.
Proper rest.
Because when you're tired, you tend to want to go for something sugary to wake you up, or another cup of coffee. And why not a 20-minute power nap? You know, that's more effective.
Yep. Doing those things, it's basically a drug dependency. You're depending on a chemical to help you perform or whatever.
How do we banish overtiredness? Simmons says we need to look at how we deal with the condition in kids and put the same wisdom to us in our own lives. We're good at knowing we should limit screen time for our children, but not so good with ourselves, she says. Beer recommends sleep hygiene techniques, especially cutting out coffee in the second half of the day and having a wind-down routine, just as children do. Ramla Khan says we should also drink more water, get to bed earlier at least 3 nights a week, maybe as early as 9:30 p.m., and crucially, cultivate a rather more healthy relationship with our technology. And yeah, I don't drink coffee after 5 p.m. I just drink tea or whatever the rest of the night. And I drink as much water as I can, but then, you know, here goes the thing, pee too much in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go to bed early. I try to be in bed by midnight. Period. But it depends when you have to get up for work. Then you gauge your time. Then you create your own time frame of that. We are, after all, mere toddlers in the digital world. Like little kids who don't know when they have had enough chocolate, we haven't learned as a society when to say no to being always on. And overtiredness is one of the many consequences. See, as adults, we have to learn it ourselves. For kids, we're the ones telling our kids when it's enough is enough for everything, you know?
Yep. We should learn to do for ourselves what we do for our kids, because taking care of yourself is important too.
Yeah, so we have to try to do what we're telling our kids to do, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And with technology, we just have to gauge what works for us. If it should be that no more technology after a certain hour, then no more technology after a certain hour, if that's what it takes. If we can put a light next to our bed, then put a light next to our bed and then read a book. Books are good for you, and then they help you fall asleep too. I can't really put a light by my bed because then Aaron gets blinded by the light and then I have to put a pillow between us, and it's hard. So I just sit and read for an hour at my desk before I go to sleep. And then by that time I'll be sleepy. I'll look a few things on my phone, and then eventually I'll just get tired and go to sleep. But even if you close your eyes, it takes a while for your whole body to go into the deep sleep, and you get there, and I don't always like my dreams, but woohoo. It's not what I like. I had a scary movie type dream last night that I don't really fully remember, but it wasn't scary enough to me wake up from a nightmare. But But in any case, you know, in
Yeah.
any, oh, crap. No, I didn't move my cursor. No, there'll be a cursor on my forehead this whole time.
Does it
Anyway,
record the whole screen? I thought it just recorded the camera's view.
yeah, well, it might record. It probably is going to record my cursor that was on my face, my forehead. Anyway, everybody, this concludes our video for today, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be posting up the 2 videos recorded, hopefully by tomorrow, and hopefully Friday or next weekend I'll have good news for you. I'll jump on and give you all my good news in another article. And I say, have a nice Sunday night, and check our social media down below. Go shopping, buy something. I know you guys are recovering from Christmas and want to do your taxes so you get your tax refund that will replenish your savings account that you used up for Christmas presents. But I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry about this government shutdown that will keep that at a standstill until they can get that to you. But all my luck to you, and I hope for those of you who have a job during this government shutdown, be happy and just save your money. Don't spend it all, because you don't know when you're going to need it. But nonetheless, if you really need some retail shopping, I have stuff posted on my shopping site. And check out my social media, and Stefanie has stuff for sale too on her shopping site. So please get your retail fix and shop with us, because we need money too to put in our savings account. Thank you, and have a nice day.
Night.